one there. Our toilets, yes, there's one there, belatedly fitted. Yep, there's one there. Yep, there's one there. Not sure where they intended the door stops to go. Okay, so closet, a little bit of a dent in the handle there, not too worried about that, it's still functional. No major or obvious moisture sign in the cabinet, and also nor is there any borer in the remove. Okay, into our bathroom. Now, glass splash screens I'm a big fan of because they work quite well. Extractor in here, you'd have to imply works because it's coated in dust, but might be on a timer, or might have decided it wanted to take a break. The light in there should be working as well. No, none there. Nope, no others there. Okay, let's just check the door. It's quite loose on the striker plates, they're never adjusted well for that, so you've got these loose, well threaded out screws here. So what you want to do with this to fix, undo these screws, discard them, get some newer, better, shinier ones. You probably then need to take some dowel or matchsticks. Matchsticks is the lazy solution, and aliphatic wood glue into the holes. Let it set. Overnight's typically enough. It is on a timer. What do you know? Then with the striker plate, you see this little flat piece here. Bend that back out that way a little bit. You can see they've beat that with a hammer there, just to try and make the door go past easily. Bend that out just a little bit more, and then you can push it in as far as you possibly can, possibly even trim a little bit more out. It's a complicated process to get it right when we're setting them out originally. You've got to measure where that comes to, where the door sits, the gap between the other side, and then take your measurement from there to there. And you see that this one's already on the terps a little bit, so that makes it a bit, just that bit harder to get right. Yeah, the door has had a hard life, so that's probably where the twist comes from. Somebody's slammed it with the, probably that put around the wrong way or something. We'll kick the door open when somebody was in the shower. Stranger things has happened. Window there is looking pretty good. Our extractor is obviously functional, the light is functional, it's a halogen, they do generate a bit of heat, that's not a bad thing. Consider putting some silicone sealant down this side, because obviously you can't access anything down there, so if you stop any water getting down there outright, you do a good thing. This has been in for a little while, since you've got some wear on the drawer fronts. Still functional. Same with the tiles and everything in here, so you can see the silicone on the baseline of all the tiles ideally just wants to be trimmed out and replaced. And then for the grout, use a grout cleaner or bleach, in fact more silicone up there as well, and do that side. Pay particular attention to that side because that's where the shower splashing is going to occur. Because you've got a window within the shower splash zone, you really want to pay attention to keeping the paint on this window in good condition, both the sill and the window itself. Replace the silicone. You can see the pink mould here, or human slime as I like to refer to it. It's not the end of the world, it is just aesthetic on the rubber strip, but eventually the strip will harden and not function quite as well. And you can see evidence of that there, so that has actually hardened. So you can get additional splash screens for these easily enough. Now our plug here is a little bit notchy, so what you do with these is you unscrew this and you can get to the mechanism there, you clean it, spray it down, clean it, and then stick some water resistant lubricant on it. So what can work, white lithium grease can work, water repellent, so Teflon sprays can work. Again, mostly relatively short term. Back door and backyard. This is a cool backyard, man, and you can still see the sea. They put a nice door on it, spent up large, and then fixed their draft seal to the door, which probably seemed like a very good idea at the time. Probably wasn't the best idea, mainly just for aesthetics. I went to the effort of putting such a nice door in and then paint it like that. Right, does not mind, I wonder why. Righty-ho, come on, be nice. go. Perfect. Old Robin Hood tub. So it's a 90s, 2000s vintage. And we can see our timber flooring underneath. There has been a bit of historic timber damage down there. So again, it's isolated. I'm not that concerned about it. If it gets wet again, then obviously you need to act on that pretty quick. So try and avoid loading it up so much that you can't see the baseline. This one does have the drain, so just make sure that's plumbed up correctly. It's always tempting to just put your drain into the sink. It's generally a bad idea. It's the lead to leaks. This laundry has no provision for a heat pump vent, a dryer vent, which is good because heat pump dryers are far better anyway. You might just sneak away. No, I don't think you will. Most dryers and washing machines are about 600mm. Your gap is about 1100. So you're not going to quite get away with putting 2 in unless you went to a slimline tub. But then you could put 2 front loaders in and you've got bench space here, which is more handy than that sounds like it ought to be. Cupboard is well fixed. Holding together all right, a little bit worn but workable. Okay, right, probably turn the light off in here now, can't I? And that'll keep going for a bit. Clean the outlet on that would be a very good idea. It will help it to extract wet air more efficiently. Oh look, looky, Venetian slats. Straight timber cut Venetian slats. So odds are pretty good. It's always going to be a bit chilly in this room because you've got big slat glass windows letting air in and out. Not a bad thing, but quite weak. There's like 3.5mm glass. Cleaning gets tricky. Yeah, you're only, see like the top one there, the only way out to take that out is to take the front trim off and then slide it out. Toilet, quite interesting that they've put this blocker up here. I know why they did. They didn't realise that you actually need to measure your toilet waste. So they got a new toilet and they went, oh, it doesn't fit. Maybe we pack it out from the wall, it'll fit. And that's what they did. Possibly not that wonderfully recently, actually, judging by this tap's been here for a while. This is the older feed style. Vinyl's newer. They have silicone around it. A little bit of a rough install, but not too bad. And they've siliconed the perimeter as well, which is always good to see. In fact, I should have mentioned that in the bathroom. Even with the splash screen and everything else, it's worth that siliconing. So let's just have a look and see if they did. They have tried. So not a bad idea to go around the vanity as well. Okay, bedroom 1. And yet another door which isn't quite lined up with the striker plate. So again, the lazy fix here is to rebend this tab so that it's closer that way, then the door shuts positively and firmly. Floors so far are astoundingly level. And that window is holding together well. So windows are significantly above average. Quite happy with that, really. So network cable, which is a bit of a weird one, and that's coax, which is, you know, satellite TV, and power provision, single power point. I'm not sure if there's another one up that end or not. Never quite know. With staged homes, if there's a plug there, does not mean there's a power point there. That's my pro tip, and there's not. So. So yeah, no power down that end, which means single power point in the room. It's survivable, but you do run the risk of heavy loading. Okay, bedroom 2. Oh yes, ceilings are of course Pinex in this older portion. This is Gerb. Is it? Is it? It's lying to me. Actually, nobody passed this Pinex. I'll check that with the ladder. Yep, that's Pinex. This is Pinex. Telephone jack. Light switch works just fine. Whoops. No, nothing. Power provision there. The power point disappearing under there, but no guarantee it actually goes to anything. Woohoo! that's holding together well. You see just little snippets like that. If you give them a quick sand and touch up, you save yourself a lot of bother later. So ideally get the paint type that they used. Now you see here the window fitment is very low. That's a feature of the joinery rather than the hardware being poorly installed or anything else. If they put that up any higher, then there's a massive ridge there. So I'd say that is just original, and it is what it is. So you can see they've scuffed and sanded and scratched. But yeah, paintwork in general I am quite impressed with. Closet space is pretty good. And Magnolia picture is absolutely charming. I will definitely forget exactly what a Magnolia is when I'm done here. And that one there, so you've still got just that bit of movement in the door. Where that becomes a problem is if you leave windows open. So for example, you're slat there and it's quite gusty outside, you might find your windows rattle and clank a little bit. Mainboard, electrical safety certificate from 2005, is it? 25th to 5, yeah, most likely. So obviously we're an asbestos backer, we've got ceramic fuses, we've got a couple of new MCBs on plastic bases, which is good, but that one not quite so good, still on the ceramic. Ideally replace all your ceramics with modern plastic. Now, look at that. So this stuff here is interesting mix up. So that big wire there is probably our main